When the love affair reaches its peak, there is no room for concern for the environment. A loving couple is enough. A religion, even if it calls itself a religion of love, must be strict and not love those who do not belong to it. The object-loving instinct requires mastery to acquire it, and when a person is out of control or threatened by that object, he or she will act negatively towards that object. Smoking is essential when there is no smell. From error to error, one discovers the complete truth. Life is too hard for us, as we found out. It causes us too much pain, which is a shame. Men are more moral than they think they are, and much more immoral than they imagine. The mind's most complex achievements are possible without the aid of conscious knowledge. Is the intellectual manipulation of carefully verified observations. Writers write for fame, fortune, power, and the love of women. Look into your own soul and learn first to know yourself, then you will understand why this disease must have come to you, and maybe from that moment you will avoid getting sick. I always find it beneficial to weigh all the pros and cons when making unimportant decisions. When making unimportant decisions, I always find it advantageous to weigh all the pros and cons. When a person does not have what he wants, he definitely wants what he has. Creative writers do the same as children. At play, he creates a fantasy world that he takes very seriously. The virtuous man fills himself with dreaming of what bad people do in waking life. A civilization which leaves so many of its participants dissatisfied and drives them into rebellion also has no prospect of everlasting life. Again, only religion can answer the question of the purpose of life. It is almost impossible to wrongly conclude that the idea of life has a purpose stands and falls with religious systems. The intention that humans should be happy was not in the plan of creation. You can't force anyone to believe, just as you can't force anyone to believe. Civilized society is constantly under threat of disintegration through the primal animosity of men against one another. The only person you should compare yourself to is your past self, and the only one better than you is you right now. It is easy to see that the ego is part of an identity, modified by direct influences from the outside world. Strong egoism is a defense against illness, but as a last resort, we must begin to love so as not to get sick. No one believes in their own death. In the subconscious, everyone is convinced of this immortality. The driving force of fantasy is unsatisfied desire, and all fantasies are the fulfillment of wishes, the modification of unsatisfied reality. What progress are we making? In the Middle Ages they burned me. Now they are happy to burn my book. The death of a father is the most significant event and the most heartbreaking and moving loss in a man's life. The little satisfaction a man can get from reality makes him starve. A person's unconscious can react to other people without going through their consciousness. Only a real, rare, true scientific mind can resist the doubt inherent in all our knowledge. Conscience is an inner realization that rejects certain desires that work within us. One must consider the possibility that something in the nature of the sex drive itself does not support the attainment of complete satisfaction. Loneliness and darkness have stolen my treasure. Love means nothing except in bed. When you fall in love, it's natural to always idealize the person you love. I never feel helpless in the face of pain, except in the case of love. Love is essentially the life instinct, or what the Greeks called eros. Eros is what binds things together and connects them in a way that makes them live anew. After studying the female psyche for 30 years, the big questions I have been unable to answer are: what do women want? Unlike humans who are incapable of pure love and must constantly mix love and hate Dogs love their friends and bite their enemies.